Hey, I'm going to take a shot back at this. I know you know you're right. Okay, I know. I'm sorry. I know you know you're right. I know that. And therefore, almost by definition, you know I'm wrong. Okay. And I'm not sure, how you get to your conclusion. So I know what your conclusion is, and your conclusions, are, pretty much the same conclusions as my conclusions, and yet we got here by different roads. Okay, I came out of here from over here, and you came out of here from over here, and we get to this point on the road, and we say, what's the problem? Here's the problem with the problem. Um, it's not that we got here by different roads. It's that if we don't understand um, how we got here, can I presume that you've been to our website and taken a look at the things about the nature of money? Okay, you poo-poo everything that has to do with money. Every time there's something that has to do with money, you're willing to take a dollar bill and tear it up and throw it away and burn it and say it don't mean anything. It only represents wealth, and wealth is the real. Sometimes you call it stuff, and sometimes you call it wealth. But basically, what you're saying is that that's the only thing that's really important in terms of the problems that we have. So uh, I know that we don't agree, and because we don't agree on the cause, we're not going to agree on the solution. Attack, you say, the beast, attack the beast. Force them to fight with each other. That's one of the things that you say. Attack legacy wealth. And you kind of think that what I'm doing over here with going after fractional reserve banking and the Federal Reserve System is peepee dicking compared to the fight that we're going to have. Well, you may be right. You may be right. I may be crazy. Okay. But here's what I'm going to say about it. Okay? The reason that I go after fractional reserve banking and the Federal Reserve and establishing a people's money system, you do understand that, a people's money system. See, a people's money system is the irony of the reason why I agree with you about all these outcomes and what the situation really is that's in front of us, is that it's the people's money system that solves all those problems. Okay? Your great treatise, on how all that wealth is conglomerated and protected and passed on and all that stuff, happens by what I call access to the money supply. Okay? It's access to the money supply. And you get access to the money supply by controlling the creation of the money supply. That's how you do it. Okay? Now, I know you can point me and say, I know all about that, and I don't know. But why did the bankers, who really represent the richest people in the world, set up a money system where they're going to create all the money as debt? Okay? Where the result of which is that we have to pay that interest tax that you alluded to correctly again. Why did they do that? To perpetuate that legacy. Okay? So you and I aren't going to agree on means, ways and means, okay? Because we see we see different, not causes so much as methods. Okay. In other words, I see they created the debt money system of fractional reserve banking as a means to perpetuate their wealth. Okay. Yeah, at some point you actually made a statement that said that the bankers don't know what they're doing. Actually, most bankers don't know what they're doing. You know, most bankers are, sent to economic schools and to finance, and what you learn is that this is how you open your books, so you maintain your books, you make a loan, you put the deposit over here, okay, you put the cash over here, double entry bookkeeping stuff, and that's what the banks know, and that's what they do. Some of them understand the whole friggin' thing, okay? They understand the whole friggin' thing. Remember when Paulson went running into the Congress and said, I need $750 billion, or the system's going to come crashing down? You know why he could do that? He could do that because he understood the whole friggin' thing. He understood that the debt money system was reaching its point of disequilibrium, the result of which was going to be what's contained in Stephen LeChance's paper: cascading cross defaults. Now, cascading cross defaults are what you call the financial meltdown, that you say is coming. I don't disagree about that, but I don't think it's necessary. Okay, I don't think it's necessary. My dad's approach. My dad was so far, the smartest money guy that I've come across. Okay, my dad's approach was this: priority use of the money supply. Okay, if you have a fractional reserve banking system, a debt money system, under the fractional reserve banking system, all money is created as debt. That's how they get that interest tax on us all. That's why today all the money that's being created is going to pay the interest rather than to pay the wages. Okay, that's how it's happening. Okay, now you might say, well, yeah, they're doing that to perpetuate their massive wealth. I don't care. Okay, I don't care. That's their mechanism. Okay, and if you purport to represent a fair way of doing things, you got to have a money system. So if your money system is going to be fractional reserve banking after you force them to fight with each other and they destroy each other and the whole system comes crashing down and we start to pick ourselves up again, this is my point, you see. This is my point. I'm looking to the future. I'm looking to what happens after this thing crashes, okay? Or if it doesn't crash. I assume you've been to our website. I assume you've been to www.monetary.org. I want to assume that in your, willingness and your demand for engagement and your willingness to do research, that you've looked at the American Monetary Institute's proposal for legislation. See how that proposal for legislation takes care of monetizing the debt so it goes back to the government, so that it goes back to the taxpayers. I assume that. I can see that you've got the smarts to do it and to understand it. Are you willing to do it? Are you willing to look at that? Because, again, that's the only thing I'm interested in, okay? I'm not interested in making a revolution except by the pen, okay? And to me, that's what we have to do. So, I'm sorry. I disagree. Let's disagree on this level, okay? Let's disagree on this level. It's the money system. It's the money system. History of money in America, Alexander Del Mar. Money systems. History of monetary systems in the world. It's the money system.